We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are Duel Legion.
I said like and subscribe. Alright, so we're going to get started with the Phantom Knight engine for the deck, which is 3 Torn Scales. He's basically your Foolish Burial for the deck. Discard 1 card, you get to drop a Phantom Knight from your deck to the graveyard. And anytime a Phantom Knight card is banished from your graveyard, you can special summon him from your graveyard, but banish him when he leaves the field after that. Then we're going to do 2 Silent Boots. Pretty self-explanatory. When a Phantom Knight is on the field, you can special summon him, banish him out, bring a Phantom Knight card to your hand, spell or trap card to your hand. Then we're doing 2 Cloaks. Just the Searcher, banish him out, bring a Phantom Knight to your hand. And then we're doing the 1 Gloves. Just to dump out, and then when he is Exceed Summon for a Dark type, boost him up by 1,000. So that's pretty much the core 8 you're going to be doing. You can fluctuate with the numbers, but that's just pretty much what I chose to do with the core 8. Alright. Moving forward, now we're running into the regular level 3s for the deck.
So like and subscribe.
Doing 1 Terratop. We're doing 1 Tick-Tomborg. We're doing 1 Psychic Wheeler. And we are doing 1 Psychic Tracker to round out for those guys. Then we're doing 1 Jackalope. 1, no, I'm going to try it. 1 of the other danger monsters to facilitate the Jackalope. Then we're doing 2 Junk Forwards. Just basically he turns himself into a Terratop when he special summons himself. Then we're doing 2 of my guy here, the Knights. Just when you normal summon, you can special summon him in addition. Then 2 Tour Guides. I know you guys wonder, like, when are we going to see the Tour Guides? I put 2. Usually people run 3. I was trying to keep it under the 50, like 50 and below. So I put 2 just because I didn't want to, like, not run it. But definitely couldn't find space for a 3rd one, which it runs perfectly fine for me. So now, where the tech aspect in this engine comes from, for me at least, instead of running the Burning Abyss, I was trying it. Runs really well, except for the times it can get bricky. So when it comes to your hand and you're like, oh great, I got a Burning Abyss in my hand now. There's really no reason for it. Like, there's really no reason for it. So with that being said, I switched up with my tech aspect, which is Lilith. Lilith, just because when she is summoned through Tour Guide, is level 3. So it's simple, so it fits into it. So you can go into a Link, you can go into Exceed. Or you can use her as a 2,000 beater, since she did not get summoned through normal summon, and her effect is negated through Tour Guide. So she becomes a 2,000 beater. And then if you do normal summon her, like if the reason why I'm running her, if she comes to your hand and it's like, oh, perfect, Lilith, you're running multiple normal trap cards. So you're running Impermanence, you're running Evenly Match, you're running Dimensional Barrier, you're running a bunch of stuff. So you can literally summon her and plus off with it. So it fits into the Tour Guides, and it doesn't come a brick in my hand if I do draw into it. So that's a plus on that one. And then the other one was Sangan. Hear me out now. A little bit of old school tech. I was trying a bunch of different things. Sangan, for test play wise and playing other people, really has been working well. It speeds up the deck a little bit. Yes, it is a little slow speed, but it is great, especially when you go Tour Guide into Sangan and you link them off. Not Exceed, but link them off. You get Sangan's effect. The only 3 cards or 3 monsters you cannot get with Sangan in this deck build is Nibiru, is Lilith, and I believe it is Psychic Tracker. Those are the only 3 cards you cannot bring to your hand with Sangan. Everything else is fair game. So it just speeds up the deck. If you need a hand trap in your hand, you can go get the hand trap. You can pretty much, if you're missing a Phantom Knight and it's been a while since you drew into one, perfect, go get you a Phantom Knight. Just all around, can facilitate your plays. If you want to go Tick-Tomborg, go special, you get search out the Tick-Tomborg, bring it out special. It just works better in my opinion, so that's why I'm running it. My little tech into it. You guys do what you want, but that's just pretty much how I was running it. So that's it for the level 3 monsters outside of the Phantoms. Alright, now. Alright, moving forward to our hand trap selection, our hand trap package, right? So our hand trap package is going to consist of 2 Ash Blossoms, i.e. the best hand trap in the damn game. Sorry about the glare, guys. Trying to eliminate as much glare as I can. Then we're running into 2 Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler with some decks, since if they're dependent on that hard normal summon or hard like summoning effect to get their effects going, you could just hit them with an Effect Veiler. If they work around that, like they use their Call by the Grave or their Crossout Designator, if they're running Effect Veilers, they just wasted that. So your Blossoms are pretty much safe. So you can pick and choose what to hit with. And then most of the time, if you just take away that monster effects, if they don't have anything to lead into another play, say like a Link Off, if you're playing like Evil Heroes, or if you're playing like, Salamangreat or a Cyberverse deck where you can just link it off, then yeah, it kind of gets a little monotonous. But against like a lot of other decks that like the Dark Magician deck, hard summon, you just stop that effect, cuts it off. Glad Beast, same thing. Doesn't stop the contact, but it stops like their glad effects. Just all around, just to kind of like slow them down or dead stop them. So it is a good hand trap still in that. Moving forward, we're doing 1 Bell. Bell, great card. I'm only running 1 because Bell hurts my deck a lot. So for the cross out, I put 1 Bell. So if they go try to bell me while I'm doing something, and I got cross out designated in my hand, I could just cross them out and then keep it going from there. Drop out the Bell. Same thing with Nibiru. Great to have in there, so if I do need it, but it's mainly just a cross-out target. So, like, if I am fighting a swarm deck and I have a Nibiru in my hand and they're trying to swarm me, Nibiru their field, or if they're trying to activate their Nibiru, I could just cross them out, chuck my Nibiru out. Moving forward with the hand trap package, we're doing 1 DD Crow, because Branded is still a thing, and 1 Ghost Ogre to not just destroy cards on the field that need to be destroyed when they activate their effects, but to also act as another target for my emergency teleporters. So that is the 8-card monster hand trap package. Cool. Now we get to move forward into the spells. Yeah. So for the spells, pretty much self-explanatory. I was running speed and negation. So we were talking about them. 2 crossouts. We're doing 1 droplet. I didn't feel like putting 2, so I just put 1 and 2. Crossouts pretty much more protection than droplet, and droplet's pretty much I'm just using for their big boss monster plays if I need to. If like they bring out a Baron, or they bring out a Dragoon, or they bring out a DPE, or they just bring out like a Draco. Anything they're trying to play with me, droplet. Like that's pretty much for their boss monsters. Then we're doing 1 Call by the Grave because hand traps are still real, and we want to double down on stopping things in the graveyard. Then kind of the old school aspect, just to kind of speed up the deck, we're doing 2 Lord Darknesses, our reinforcements, and a Foolish Burial with 3 E-Tellies. Pretty self-explanatory, again, just to speed up the deck and to negate things. So that's pretty much how we were running it. It's 11 card spell package. Then we're doing a 9 card trap package. So it'll be 11 spells, 9 traps, making 20, and then 30 monsters, making the whole 50. Cool? Cool. So we're going to start it off with its Infinite Impermanence. Just to lock off spell and trap cards in columns and to negate monster effects from the hand if I need be. Also running Evenly Match. Great card, especially if I'm not really getting the hands I need. I can evenly match them, drop them down to cards I control, and put the duel back into my control. We're doing 1-dimensional barrier because Branded is still real. And with other decks outside of that, they depend on like a Exceed or a Synchro. You can still stop them and get into that with that. But outside of, Phantom Knight's Wing. Great booster, and it does a Reborn back when you remove it. So that's another reason why I have it. Same thing with Sword. Does an 800 boost back and does a special summoning. And then we're doing our 3 Fog Blades. Pretty self-explanatory. Swipe them for their effects, and then if it's in the graveyard, you can remove it, special summon a Phantom Knight. So it just adds to extending on your board. Pretty self-explanatory. So 9 traps. to finish out the 50 card deck. And now we're going into a fucking extra deck. Extra deck, extra deck, extra deck. So, to start off the extra deck, we're just going to start off with the links first, just to get it out the way. We're running one Angel. We're running one Dark Charmer, just to extend on boards, and you can make a Dark easily on your field, so you can go Dark Charmer. If they got a Dark, most likely most Dark decks do run Dark Monsters, so you can just grab a Dark Monster from there, put it on your side of the field that it points at, and then go into another link, which could be either your Rusty or your Unicorn, depending on what your field's looking like and depending on what you want to do. For your 4s, we're doing one Appaloosa and one Mechanite Crusadia. Pretty self-explanatory. Appaloosa is just going for effects and negation of monster effects. He's, if you're running into a boss monster, primarily a beat stick, he's the eater of boss monsters, I feel. So definitely just have him in there to run around things, knock things out, and just keep my plays going. If they try to get bigger than me, he knocks that out too. Just all around good card for late game. Like if I can't get them the way I normally get them, I can just bring him out late game and just go for the kill. Cool? Cool. So that is it for my link selection. Then we're going to be doing my Exceeds. So cool. We're going to start off with 2 Levier Sea Dragons. Pretty self-explanatory. Extend your board, and we're setting up for our Draco future. So that's pretty much there. We're doing 2 Break Swords to facilitate the Phantom Knight plays. Also provides destruction, and he also goes into my secondary play outside of Draco future, but we'll get into that in a second. We're doing 1 Utopic future, and then 1 Draco future. Just one of our mini boss monsters in this deck, so we can really run around and cause a lot of damage with that. And especially if him and Appaloosa's on the field, they're not really going to do anything other than scoop. So moving forward, we're doing 1 Raider's Knight. So if I target Break Sword, Pop himself, he activates his other effect when he's destroyed. You get to special summon 2 Phantom Knights from the graveyard and change their levels to 4. So then once you bring those 2 back, you go into immediately into your Raider's Knight, detach, and then go from Raider's Knight to Arc Rebellion, which is just like, if you're trying to overpower your opponent's monster, great card to put into. Because once he detaches, he basically takes all the attacks on the field, add them up, and then adds it to himself, and then he can't be destroyed while he has materials on him. So it's just a great card. If you're just trying to end the game really quick, if you can make them really fast and they have a blank board, you could just knock them the hell out. Or if you can clear their board after you take their monster's attack power and add them to yours, then you could clear their board with a Break Sword and a Rusty. You could just knock them the hell out and just get a quick game-winning hit. And then last but not least, we're doing 1 Mech Beast Grimpulse. Why? He's a 28 defender, another easy 3 to bring out, and he pops back row. So just in case I don't want to waste a break effect on a back row, I can waste his effect on a back row. Really, really simple, really, really good. And yeah, guys, this has been LegendThatSicBoy. You already know, your host with the most, your ghost of a host, representing that Duel Legion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want more content. And yeah, guys, peace.
Me like, fuck these bitches. What?